5,000 feet. 5,000 feet and there's still buildings all around us.
It can't be. It just can't be.
Well, hello there again, beautiful people. Welcome back to another build update on our Spindrift that we've been doing. Between last episode and this episode, I have been doing some work on that thing, and I've been doing a lot of scratch building on it. And if you remember, like I was telling you, those two rooms that are those two hatches that are on either side of the back passenger cabin wall, you know, that has that that light panel flasher in the back. Those two hatches. There's plenty of room back there. Plenty of room to do some stuff. And so, like I told you on the other episode, I was building up that room for the radio room that you saw, that I showed the photo with Betty sitting there with a radio and you know, doing her thing, whatever. And I've scratch built a lot of stuff, a lot of little consoles and box consoles and little things up, and I'm lighting those up as well, and and I've made that room. And I'm not a professional at doing this, but I think it looks pretty good and pretty decent for what I'm wanting it for. And you'll definitely be able to see it when you open up the lid of the Spindrift, and also that other room, that other door. You know, I was thinking, because, you know, it was really never seen what was inside of those doors, you know. I mean, it was just, you know, this concept kind of thing. It had rooms that appeared and disappeared throughout the series, which is just kind of mind-blowing and crazy. But whatever. But I got to thinking, you know, and kind of thinking in realistic terms what those rooms could most likely possibly be. So, okay, so you've got the cockpit, you've got the hallway, and you've got the passenger cabin. Okay, those are set in stone. You've got those. And then you've got that radio room, which is set in stone. We don't really know where it is, but I kind of put it in a place where I think it should be. And where when I was a little kid, when I'd watch the show, I'd always see it right there on that right side, that right door, behind that right door on that back passenger wall. And then on that other door, I mean, if you think, okay, this spaceship, this Spindrift is a considered a futuristic airplane kind of a thing, you know, a suborbital spacecraft to take people from one end of the Earth to the other or whatever. And I don't know how that has to make it quicker or whatever. But anyways, whatever. That's their problem. But it's like a futuristic plane. So what does a plane, an airplane, a commercial aircraft have for the passengers? It has a galley and it has a restroom. And so that's all I'm going to say right now. So let's get into the build. Let me show you what I've done. Thank you so much for watching. I believe it's going to be a fun little episode, y'all. We're going to have some fun on this one. So let's get started. All right, to show you some things that I'm doing. First off is I showed you this on the other video. Not perfect whatsoever, but it does represent the table and those two little consoles right there. That one where she's holding that mic, and then this one right here. And then this console right back here is going to be this thing that I scratch built mostly. It was a 3D printed console, some kind of Star Wars console that I found on eBay, and I kind of saw it. It's somewhat kind of like the same thing. I mean, it ain't close, but whatever. But I cut it in half. And then I put this piece of plastic on here, and I'm going to clean that up a little bit. And so that's for that. And then this, I scratch built this, which is that Jupiter 2 atmosphere pressure controller, I think is what it is on the Jupiter 2. I just kind of scratch built that a little bit, so that's going to go on this wall back here, which will be on this side right here. And then of course this table is going to go long ways, sort of like this. I got to carpet it, but kind of give you an idea. So it's going to go somewhat like that. So, and then these two consoles, this bottom one right here is going to represent this one. I think this is a little bit taller than what's supposed to be, but whatever. It's going to represent it anyways. And so, yeah. And then this top one up here, of course, is going to be this one right here. So, looks good like that. What I've got for the consoles are these right here. I believe that this right here, which is pretty much matches this right here, this is going to be perfect to put right here. And then, but down here, I've got some consoles. These are classic 60s, 70s, and 80s control panel console set. Looks like they got different sets. This is set 1. That's interesting. Anyways, so I'll figure out what I want to do on the bottom console, but we'll see. We'll see what I'm going to do about that. But anyways, that's that part, and this is going to go right about here, which the camera can't see it, and it never was in there, don't worry about it, but I'm just kind of putting it in there because it needs something in there, and I'm just kind of ad-libbing, if you know what I mean. And then this right here is going to be a galley and a restroom. Sinks, see the vanity right there, both sinks were 3D printed, and I found these on eBay. I mean, he did an awesome job too. And the toilet, or the whatever you want to call it, let's just call it toilet, was 3D printed as well. I found that on eBay, and all this is 1/18 scale. The trash can, that dark spot, don't worry about that dark spot. That's just a boo-boo I made. I'm going to paint over that, and we'll be good to go. And also that uncleanness down there on the floor, don't worry about that. We'll get that cleaned up. But the trash can is just very large tubing, plastic tubing, that I cut to size to make that work, and toilet paper, and the toilet paper holder, I scratch built that as well, and believe it or not, but the toilet paper depicted right there is real toilet paper. I don't want to gross you out or none, but it is what it is. So yeah, I just kind of had to scratch build that a little bit, and what I'm going to be putting over here is like a 3D printed cabinet that has opening doors. It's got several shelves on it. I don't think it's too big. I hope it's not too big, but I don't think it'd be too big, but I'm still waiting for that to come in. Maybe that'll come in within this episode, and we'll get to that and get going on this. This one's not going to be carpeted. This is going to be carpeted. This room's going to be carpeted with that green color like the rest of this, but this one's not going to be carpeted. I think I'm going to put a dark gray color on there. 'Cause it's kind of like back there, but yeah, you don't carpet kitchens and stuff like that. That's just nonsense. And I was going to make this door to slide open and close, but I don't think that's going to work too well. So that's the way that is. And the way that's going to go on is I'll have to put the floor on. This floor is not permanently in there, but I cannot attach this one. I cannot attach this one here like I did this one. This is going to have to go at an angle. This one I was able to do, but if I put these two together straight like this, this thing is not going to go in and out perfectly. The reason this goes in is I put it in at an angle, kind of like, you can see how I'm pulling it out kind of at an angle and pushing it back in at an angle. And so this one will have to go on after I get this thing secure, and then it'll do something somewhat, let me take this out so I don't break it, somewhat like this. Somewhat like that. I have to put that there, and then I'll put this here, sort of like this, and then this will go at an angle somewhat like that. And I still have some room to clear. I'm gonna put a light box right there from intakes, intakes, I guess you call them. But it's still gonna work. It's gonna be tight though. It's gonna be extremely tight, but it's gonna work. It's gonna work fine. So that's my plans, and I think they'll look pretty good. And we will have 7 extra rooms. How about that? Won't that be cool? 7 extra rooms if you count the closet as well. Don't forget the closet, and I'm gonna be putting right there. So, okay, now let's get into the consoles, doing these consoles real quick, and let's get into the process of that, and let's see if we can get some good stuff going. I'm also planning on lighting these as well, so let's get to it. I'm using JB Weld 5-minute 2-part epoxy. I could use super glue to glue these paragraphics on, but that stuff bites onto this brass. I guess it's brass. It bites on it pretty quick, and if you don't get it on just right and perfect, you'll have yourself a crooked console, and that don't look good. So I prefer the epoxy. Alrighty, y'all, let's check this room out and see if all that hard work paid off or not. I got it all connected to my battery supply right there, so we should be good. I made this ceiling here for the lighting. These lights are extremely bright. Let me turn this on first and so you can just see the lighting. So I'm gonna flip this switch right here. Turn this light off, turn this light off. And you just kind of see things going on. I see a few little light bleeds going on in here. I was gonna light that. Look, this thing is gonna be lighted by, or powered by a battery. I think 3 of these, and you know, it only takes, I think, 125 LEDs a piece, and I'm not sure how long that lasts. So, and I've got a lot of LEDs and stuff I'm gonna be using for consoles up here in the cockpit and stuff. So I'm gonna have to watch myself. So I'm just kind of, you know, doing a few little things just to kind of make it look pretty decent. I got a few little light bleeds I see that I'm gonna have to fix. So that's why I didn't light that right there. It's for that reason. I think the best thing to do is just to work my level and do the best I can and work with it that way. But I think it looks pretty decent. This I don't know if I showed you this, but this seat swivels, and it's kind of the mechanism I used for that. Yeah, so it's sort of like that. But okay, so let me show you with the ceiling on. So the ceiling is going to kind of go like this. I'm going to tell you, these LEDs are extremely bright. It's almost too bright. It won't be for long. So get those rods out of the way, and you can kind of see in there. So we got ourselves a little radio room, y'all. Look at that. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but it kind of gives off pretty decent vibes like it did on the show if you compare it with the photo. Like this one here. Let's see. Yeah, wait a minute. I gotta put some papers right here. I didn't see that. I gotta put 2 little papers right there to kind of match that a little bit. So I think we did pretty good. I think we did pretty good, but that is that. I'm pretty pleased with the way those computers are doing. Like I said, it's not perfect, but whatever. I think it looks decent enough. So looks good. So I think it gives off a pretty decent vibe like this one. And then this one here is the ceilings for both the galley and the restroom. And the reason I have this wall or this ceiling doing this number is because when I was inside the ship, you know, the ship kind of goes up at an angle. So the way this thing is built, when it tapers down, this corner right here obstructs it. So I had to kind of cut that down and just kind of bring that up right there. So, okay, so I'm still waiting for that cabinet to come in. It's coming from China, I believe, so it's taking a while. And right here, yes. My sister, y'all. Oh, this is so cool. My sister came up with this idea. If you remember, this goes right here, which is the hall closet. So you come in here, this is the front, this is the side door going outside, and this is the closet right here. You know, Fitzhugh was in here one time getting his gun and all that good stuff. But this hall closet right here, look at this. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. I didn't do that, y'all. My sister did that. Looky. I have to use 2 hands to close it, but oh my goodness. And you know what she's doing? She's making me some hangers, and she's making me some cloth to kind of look like clothes, and I'm gonna hang them up inside. How realistic are we gonna get? We're gonna get as realistic as we can. You can with this scale. So, oh, I gotta paint that those rods. I think I gotta paint them red. I think that'll look good if they're done red. So, yeah. Oh boy, I'm so pleased the way she did that, and I think that looks good. So look, y'all, I am crammed busy again. I am working on the Spindrift. I'm fixing to work on this Doll and Hobby Chariot. I just got finished with another robot. I've got a Jupiter 2 that I've got to do over there. And I'm working on this refit, another refit. My listing was very successful, so I'm doing a freaking another one, y'all. Isn't that crazy? But here are some of the things I'm doing. Here's the officer's lounge. Not too bad. And I'm working on the what do you call that thing? I forget what you call it. That little inside forest thing. I forget what you call it. But yeah, I'm working on the refit, and I'm working on another little build I'm doing for somebody. I'll show that to you in a minute. But I got me a new tool in today. So My air compressor for my airbrush conked out on me, and so it was when I do the airbrush, it go kind of like it lose pressure, and everything I did, I tried everything I could and did troubleshooting and all that, and it just didn't work. And so I looked up online, and it says when that happens that your air compressor is going bad. So I went and got me another one. I got me some new airbrushes, which came with it too as well. So let's unbox that real quick, if you want to, and let's look at that and see what we got going here, and then we'll check out the Spindrift, some more stuff I've got. Alrighty, so I got my new thing in it. They've done some different things since I got this very set a couple of years ago, I think it was, quite a few years ago anyways, but they kind of changed it. First thing, I think they give you 3 holders instead of just 2 for the airbrush holders. That's pretty interesting. And then they give you this paint set. That's pretty interesting. Ready to use water-based acrylic formulation. That is really cool. So it's kind of like practice colors, I guess. That's so cool. I like that. But everything else looks pretty much the same. Hey, US, what brand is that? US Air Supply. US Art Supply. I'm gonna have to check into them. I have to check into their paints. Oh wow, I'll have to check in that, y'all. That's pretty interesting. Okay, so got that done. Let's go out and check the Spindrift and see what I got done with that, and just kind of check it out and see what we got going. Alright, I pretty much got her set up. She's about ready to go, so oh boy, be good to get back into that. Okay, so here is the glorious Spindrift, y'all. Yeah, this thing is almost ready to go, y'all. It's almost ready. I am really excited to get this thing painted up before it gets cold. Okay, I still gotta paint those parts. But this is one side. This is the passenger cabin of the hallway / going into passenger cabin wall. So this will be the hallway, and there's your controls right there, if you can see that. So yeah. And this is the cockpit side of the wall. This is the other side of the hallway. And yeah, what else is this? This is our beautiful back passenger cabin wall with our opening, closing doors. Oh boy. I think I should have put this one to go on this side so it would open this way too. I was wanting to match this one, but whatever. So I got to paint that up, and I got to put some handles. No, it didn't have handles on the original one. In fact, I never even saw them open them up. They may have even been sliding, kind of, but whatever. I'm just gonna kind of have some fun with it, because I'll need something to open them up when I want to open them up. So, anyways, this is none other than the game body Spindrift. You can see the G right there, the GE. This whole thing is filament printed. I say the whole thing is filament printed. It's good. It's really good stuff. It's good quality. Awesomely made, but everything is filament printed. That means the interior as well. But filament printed for interior stuff is very challenging. And this is for my good friend, Mr. Hellner. This is for him. He's been wanting Spindrift a long time, and we've been waiting for the Mobius to come out, and so far I ain't heard nothing. But I saw this game body, and so he wanted me to build this for him. So we're doing that, and it's looking really good. I had to build up this. This right here, this viewport top. One of them was broke, and it came broke, and I never saw the other piece to it. And so I broke off the other piece that was right here. It was attached only on one side, and I broke that piece off, and I just completely did 2 pieces. Kind of worked like that, and I gotta put it in its sockets, but it don't really look like that. I promise you, it does not fit that way. I also plumb forgot to mention, this is another little detail that I got, so check this out. I went on, well, I went online, basically. Get this thing open. I went online and I punched in 1/18 scale 60s green wall telephone. Now, I don't know if you remember, it's rarely and barely ever seen. Actually, Randy Cooper put one in his kit. Yeah, this is crazy. There was a phone right there. And there was consoles there, and I just kind of etched them out, and I am going to put this here instead and make that look pretty accurate to what I'm wanting. So, oh, look at that. I mean, this thing is so detailed. Look at that. I don't want to break it. So, but the wire, it's real wire. Those things don't really turn. I'll tell you they don't turn, but I mean, this thing is so detailed. I didn't even paint that. It came painted, and it's gorgeous. I cannot believe how detailed and beautiful this thing is, and it's perfect scale, y'all. It is absolutely perfect scale. I can't. My mind's blown about that. So I wanted to show y'all that and what I'm gonna be doing with that. So, it was Steve. He used it. I can't remember. He used it, I think, in the first episode. I think he used it to contact the passengers. It was kind of I guess, your contact to the passenger phone. But anyways, it's perfect. It is perfect. So, very nice. Alrighty, y'all. The thing that I've been waiting for a while has just come in. Check it out. I cannot believe this stuff is 3D printed. And yeah, you can see the doors open. And you got real shelves in there, and then you close them. And it goes right there. And where that's going to go, right here, it's probably going to go at kind of an angle, something sort of like that. But that's the way it's going to go. If I thought, I would have gotten either two or put this one right here. That would have really looked good. But it needs a little computer back there, some kind of computer of some kind. I noticed there's something. It's a little empty right there, so I might put a little table back there. I'm not real sure yet, but it just kind of looks a little empty. We'll see. We'll see how much time I got. But yeah, it's gonna look good. I just epoxy that in place, and we'll have ourselves a nice little galley area. Put it right there for Betty to get her things that she needs for her passengers.
Barry, do you read me? This is Mark. Come in. Why doesn't that kid answer? A computer can only do so much. There's still options that have to be decided on. I don't even have it programmed
Mark, coffee, tea, or milk?
Still calming the passengers, huh?
That will kind of help calm the passengers just a little bit better. I think that's going to look real good. So that's going to look good. I'm going to epoxy that. We are pretty much I got some stuff painted here. As you can see, I've got a few things painted. That's something different. Don't worry about that. But I got a few things here painted. I got those red rods. I got those painted. I got to paint the insides in between. In between the rods. I got to paint those a little bit, but it's looking good. So here's my issue. This is kind of what is keeping me kind of holding us up a little bit, is these little pieces right here. These are the passenger side wall, the passenger cabin side walls. And if you remember, I had some plastic that was going up here, kind of like this, because you need a roof, you need a ceiling for your lights. You got 3 lights, kind of parallel, going the same way, I think, as these passenger controls here. I'm not sure what those are, by the way, but anyways, whatever. And so I used some plastic, and this was what was on there. I scratch built this and put this on, but the plastic, real thin. But once again, you're dealing with curves and angles, so I needed to bend, but it's not working. So I broke it off. But I'm trying to figure out. I don't know what I'm gonna do. But my problem was that seam right there. Once I filled it, after I glued this thing on, I filled it. I filled that seam between, well, right here. I filled this seam going all the way up, and it kept cracking off on me. And I tried a few different things, and it just didn't work. So I just broke this thing off, and Resanded it down because I just did not like the way it was doing. Didn't like it. Alrighty, finally time to do some detail painting on these interior pieces. So as always, I'm gonna go to this Randy Cooper pictures, and so it's looking like that right here. Oh, of course his is different than these, but here, this whole box in there, of course you've got the silver triangles on the other pieces on the walls, but right here it looks like all this is green, this leaf green color, and I'm going to use the same green that Randy Cooper used on these. I think it's going to work, so I'll have to mask these off, mask off here and mask off here. So let's get to doing that. Okay, not too bad. A little disappointed about a couple of things, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to build it up. I got a few little light bleeds. I got a few paint bleeds in a few places. Right here, I'm going to be doing silver, so that ain't going to be nothing to worry about. But a few little paint bleeds right here, a few bit down there, and right here that I'm wanting to kind of address. But it's looking good for the most part. I just kind of got to get in there and start doing some painting on these consoles and figure out what colors I'm going to use. I'm not really sure exactly yet, but I'll figure that out. Alrighty, we're moving quite along on this interior stuff, so I think I'm going to let y'all go. It has been a very long build. I will tell you, it's probably been altogether, this episode's probably been about a month, maybe close to it. I would say maybe about close to a month getting all this stuff done that I got done, and we sure enough got a lot of stuff done, but of course there is still a whole lot more to go, and I wanted to show you. Oh yeah, I want to show you what my sister did. Look at that. I didn't do that, y'all. She did that for me. So she's got a couple more outfits to go, and she used just fabric and some fabric glue to put these things together for me. And the hangers, the hangers are nothing more than paper clips, a little bit thick paper clips that she used to put those in. I mean, that's just, isn't this something? I mean, we're going to go all out, you know? I mean, we're going to go all out, or we're not going to go in at it all. And so, yeah. And then I also purchased, I'll show it to you. I purchased this online. It's from China, but it showed and said that it was for 1/18 scale. This is not 1/18 scale. This is 1/6 scale completely, all the way through and through 1/6 scale. The money is like real money, so it's crazy what this thing is. Just, you got real bundles of money in there. You can get gold bars, you can get deeds and bills and all kinds of weird stuff go in there if you want to, but I got all old bills, and I thought this was going to be in good scale with the ship, but it's not. This is 1/6 scale, so this is G.I. Joe scale here, but it's cool to have.
You know what this is?
The officer said there were little people money.
The officer also said you wouldn't tell him where you got it.
I don't remember exactly.
You don't remember exactly.
I found it. I found it in the street. Just lying there.
It's a cool little, it's cool to have, but I mean, you close it up and you open it up and you push these two knobs back like you would on a regular suitcase, briefcase, and these things pop up and it opens. So it's really cool how that works. It's got a real handle and everything. But yeah, this is not 1/18 scale like it said. This is 1/6 scale. Completely 1/6 scale. So, but it's cool to have and collect in case you. It's just something cool to have. But
After all, you're rich now. A millionaire.
anyways, so I decided to keep it. And so show you a couple of things, or a few things that I'm working on real quick before I let you go. I am working on an Anthony's shuttlecraft that he sent to me for me to build up for him, and I am really honored and privileged to be able to build his shuttlecraft for him. But he had these extra little pieces right here. This is for the episode, the Star Trek episode, the Immunity Syndrome, where this big old galactic germ thing came up and they had to go, and it is real cool. I encourage you to watch the episode if you haven't already. I'm sure you have, but if you haven't, I encourage you to watch it. They had the Galileo kind of set up a little bit differently on that episode, and it had these little consoles, and it somewhat looked like this. The back here was a little different, but I kind of put those seats back in there just kind of like that. It was really unclear the way this thing was an episode. You just kind of saw little glimpses of it, but whatever anyways. And so that's kind of the way that's looking. So I'm doing that version for him. And here is the shell that I just got finished decaling. I'm kind of waiting for it to dry, and tomorrow morning I will put some clear coat on that and get that going, but that looks pretty decent, I believe. Looks really good. And I'm kind of in the process of lighting it, so all the consoles and everything's going to be lighted, including these consoles are going to be lighted, and it's going to look really good. And then I'm working also, I just got finished with Doll and Hobby Chariot that I'm fixing to put on my listing, and here are the figures for that. Here are the figures for the Galileo that I just got finished, so check them out. I got to get them clear coated as well. But yeah, I got to get them clear coated a little bit, but they're finished. Other than that, they're finished, so looking good. And I am working on another Jupiter too. My sister over here is doing some detail work for me. This is not one of those deluxe Jupiters with the fancy lighting inside all these consoles. I'm using the stock, the stock light kit, so the Mobius light kit here, so which is not quite as detailed, but it is a little bit more cost friendly, I guess I should say. There's some detail work she's doing there. Look at that detail work. Oh yeah, it looks good. Looks really good. Alrighty, y'all, I believe that's gonna do it for this episode. Like I said, it's been a long one. Please let me know in the comments what you would like to have. If you like these longer episodes, or if you like shorter ones. If you like them fast, you like them slow, you like them real time, I'll do my best to try to accommodate the best that I can. But we've still got a long ways to go, but we got a good bit of detailing done on the interior, which is really good. Thank you so much for watching. Again, thank you so much for watching, okay? And thank you so much for coming on and watching me build this model. And it's fun. It's fun, but it's a lot of head work. It's like, you know, model kits, you know, it's like you can get a system going, you get in your head what you want to do. This thing's kind of one of those things just where it's like, okay, I get in my head what I want to do, and I go and do it, and then something sneaks up on me and says, surprise, you got to do it this way. So that's kind of the way this thing is. So it kind of gives you surprises sometimes that you just kind of got to, you know, play it by ear and do your best. So that's the way that goes. Till the next time I see you, please, folks, stay safe, take care, and beautiful people. Keep modeling, all right? Take care.